So there's a man from Meir Simcha whose name was Avram. We'll call him Avram. And everything was going very good for him. He was very close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He had a connection. He had a mishpach. He was sitting and learning. And his daughter, Rahman al-Islan, fell ill. She got very sick. And the illness, the sickness, brought him closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because that's what happens when somebody has a challenge in their life and they use it to connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, just the connection gets very, very strong. But unfortunately, the situation looked very bad. It looked bleak. It did not look like it was going to, be successful. And it was a real illness. And the doctor told him that medically there was really nothing to do. There was nothing that he's able to do. There was a certain specialist in the United States, this is in Eretz Yisrael, he developed a certain method of treatment that proved to be successful. The problem is that it's impossible to reach this doctor. There was a long waiting line to see him, and even if you reach him, it's not so pashut. Okay. So obviously he's davening and he's trying to do the chesed he could do and whatever it is to try to have HaKadosh Baruch Hu's Rachman as his daughter. And it was one day a person who was involved with connecting patients with doctors called Avram and told him that this doctor from the United States was visiting Eretz Yisrael, and he's in his office in Tel Aviv. I guess he had an office in Tel Aviv. And if you come right this second, I don't know where you are, I don't know what you're doing, get here right now. If he sees you and he hears your daughter's situation, maybe he'll have Rahmanas, he'll have mercy on you, and he'll give you an appointment. And if you get that appointment, with Hashem's help, maybe something could change. This is your only chance to get through to this doctor. If you don't see him now, it's not going to happen. And I have some bad news for you, and that is he is leaving in a half hour. So you got to get here right now. So Avram said, a half hour? I'm in Yerushalayim, I'm in Meir Simcha, I'm in Kol, or whatever I'm doing. You want me to get to Tel Aviv in a half hour? He said, I don't know. I don't know. All I'm telling you is, this is your only chance. So if you get here in a half hour, there might be an opportunity to save your daughter. So he quickly told his wife what's happening, and he ran in his house and he tried to get whatever money he had, all the shekels that he had, or whatever. He ended up coming up with like a few hundred shekel. He ran outside, he flagged down a cab, and he told the driver he needs to be in Tel Aviv in a half hour. Now in Eretz Yisrael, the way it works is either everything is impossible, or everything is like, betach, no problem. And my young daughter could do that. You know what I'm saying? So right away, the cab driver's like, a half hour Tel Aviv, it is impossible. It's not going to happen. So we took out the few hundred shekels. He's like, oh, betach, yalla, get in the car, I'll get you there in 10 minutes, Anyway, so he goes, he gets in the car, the driver turns around, and he took off every shortcut you could possibly imagine. He's driving through fields, he's driving over water. No, he's not driving over water, but he's going through every single thing you could do. He's not stopping by red light, he's just right over, just going. Anyways, the guy got there in 29 minutes. Betach, you know what I'm saying? 29 minutes. The guy drove. We don't even know where he went. No ways, nothing. He just made like a private highway just for him. He gets there, 29 minutes. It was a miracle that he got there. He runs out of the thing. He's like about to throw up with this crazy drive. He runs up, he knocks on the door, and he sees the man that he spoke to. He's like, okay, where's the doctor? You don't even know the 29 minutes that I just went through. He's like, I am so sorry. The doctor just left 1 minute ago. And once he gets in his car, there's nothing to talk about. Like, it's over. Avram's heart sank. And there was nothing left for him to do. And he suddenly began feeling lightheaded. And he felt like he was about to faint. He's like, And everybody saw it, like, hurry, get him a cup of water. Anyways, they ran to get him a cup of water. Remember, this is after a 29 from an Israeli cab driver, getting to Tel Aviv real quick, like he was not in a good spot right now. And he just heard that the doctor left and that there's the hope for his daughter. And he's about to faint. And he takes the cup of water they gave him and he needs to drink it. So he makes a bracha. And as he's making a bracha, he says, Baruch. And obviously his heart was broken at this point. He's like, Baruch Ata Hashem. And as he said those words, Baruch Ata Hashem, he realized, he's like, wait a second. Baruch Ata Hashem, my Father in heaven. I don't have to make an appointment with you. I don't have to meet you only in a half hour, only if I drive with a cab and almost get hit by a car 40 times, and almost crash into people 40 times and drive over trees and whatnot. I don't need that. Whenever I want, at any point of the day, at any point of the night, I'm standing directly in front of you. and you listen to what I'm saying. And you have the answers to everything. Baruch Ata Hashem. You're right here. And I could speak to you right now. Forget the doctors. Forget the cab drivers. Forget everything. This is between me and you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He had such a realization of the connection you could have when making a simple bracha. And as he completed the bracha, Sha'akol Niya B'dvari, he said, you created Sha'akol Niya B'dvari. You created everything. You created me. You created my daughter. You created everything, the sickness, the refuah, the doctor. You helped me. You, Hashem, you could help me. And after he drank that water, people said, are you okay? Like, you literally don't look good. You look like you're about to faint. Are you okay? He said, am I okay? He said, I was never this okay in my life. Several weeks later, he brought his daughter back to the regular doctor, and after examining the girl, the doctor said, this is 1 in a million. The medication seems to be working, and your daughter is going to have a complete recovery with Hashem's help. Later on, so Avram's wife asked him, he said, we missed the doctor. What helped our daughter? What was it? He said, you want to know what it was? It was a bracha on a cup of water. That's what it was that I had in Tel Aviv. So she said, you had to go to Tel Aviv in a taxi and pay a few hundred shekel to make a bracha. You could have made it here. He said, without that taxi ride, I could never have made that bracha. Rabbi said, listen to this story, a true story. The power of connection. We have an opportunity to connect with Hashem every single day. No matter who you are, no matter where you are, every bracha you make, you're in direct contact with the top. Not a secretary, not a doctor who knows the doctor's father-in-law, not a rich person, not your father-in-law, not with the top. Whenever you want a connection with Hashem, He's there, and He's waiting. And Kiviyachal, He craves a connection with you. He loves you more than you love yourself. Every time you do a chesed, every time you learn Torah, every time you daven, a connection with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Beirei Olam, you know what that means? You have that opportunity. So daven better. Make your bracha slower. Bench with more kavana. And realize what a schus you have. I am connected to the top. I could ask Him for anything. What the answer is going to be, we don't know. But we know it's going to be what's best for you. But Rabbi said we're connected to the top. Think of those words. And may we all be zeicha to stay connected this year. And daven our hearts out for Klal Yisrael.